Hello everyone, and thank you for joining us. My name is Trevor Mazzucchelli, and today I'm excited to introduce Stepping Stones P Online, our new digital parenting support program designed for families of children with developmental disabilities. In this session, Dr. Lisa Studman and myself will share why expanding accessible parenting support is so important, what's unique about this new online program, and what this means for families and practitioners. Before we begin, I'd like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the lands on which we're coming from to you today, and pay my respects to elders past and present. As we discuss supporting families of children with developmental disabilities, I want to emphasise our commitment to respectful, inclusive language. P International and the Stepping Stones authors acknowledge the importance of identity-first language in many neurodiverse communities, while recognising that preferences differ across countries and cultures. Above all, we value dignity and the respect for all children and families. I'd also like to sincerely thank the many parents whose feedback and experience have helped shape Stepping Stones. Parents of children with developmental disabilities often have much more on their plate than most. In addition to typical parenting demands, they may provide extra support for mobility, manage complex feeding routines, and help with communication, sometimes using alternative communication devices. Teaching everyday skills like toileting and sleep can take a lot more time and supervision, and there are extra emotional and behavioural challenges, helping children manage their emotions, follow instructions, cope with sensory sensitivities, or manage meltdowns and self-injury. On top of this, families are often juggling multiple appointments, keeping up with new treatments, securing funding and integrating therapy into their daily routines. Unsurprisingly, parents in these situations report much higher stress and disruption. Research shows their children are over 3 times more likely to develop challenging behaviours or co-occurring mental health issues. Despite of this, less than 40% of parents report accessing professional help. That's why improving access to evidence-based parenting support is so vital, and why we're so passionate about Stepping Stones P and the online program. This brings us to an important question. Can digital programs really make a difference? Over the past decade, web-based interventions have transformed how parents can access support. For families in rural or remote areas, or those with busy schedules, online programs offer immediate, flexible, and private help, often at lower cost. When parents are asked about their preferences, web-based programs come in second only to television. But more importantly, systematic reviews show digital parent training does work. Small to medium improvements in child and parent behaviour and in parental confidence. And head-to-head trials show online P is just as effective as face-to-face delivery at reducing clinical levels of child mental health problems. So digital delivery isn't just about convenience, it's an effective way to reach more families who need support. Stepping Stones P is a multi-level parenting and family support strategy specifically adapted from the broader P Positive Parenting Program. It's designed for families of children with disabilities, and Stepping Stones provides practical skills and strategies to help parents promote their child's development, manage challenging behaviour, and support overall family well-being. P and Stepping Stones in particular is not a one-size-fits-all program. It's a system with 5 levels of support ranging from universal advice for all parents to intensive targeted interventions for those with complex needs. This approach allows parents to select what fits best, whether it's brief advice, group sessions, one-on-one support, or, now, an online program. With Stepping Stones, this model is tailored for families of children with developmental disabilities, providing flexibility and access. Stepping Stones has a strong foundation, backed by 20 years of research, clinical trials, and international collaboration. Since our first efficacy trial and the publication of program materials, Stepping Stone's relevance has been confirmed for families of children with autism, cerebral palsy, acquired brain injury, and more. The program has been delivered not just in Australia, but in Germany, the Netherlands, Japan, the UK, the US, and Ireland. Stepping Stones is now recognised as an evidence-based intervention with over 11,000 practitioners trained across 35 countries and more than 150,000 families reached worldwide. It has been said that to remain relevant to the needs of contemporary parents, parenting programs need to evolve and be refreshed. We know that the field and the experiences of families have changed over time. Definitions of disability, diagnostic guidelines, and the rise of the neurodiversity movement have all influenced how we talk about and deliver support. These changes mean our materials must reflect the latest thinking and the lived experience of the families we support. In preparing for the launch of Stepping Stones P Online this year, we actively sought feedback from parents, practitioners and trainers around the world. This helped us identify what worked well and where improvements were needed, especially in language, examples and activities. Our goal was to ensure the online program is accessible, relevant and meaningful for families everywhere. So what's new in the online program? We've updated definitions, used more contemporary and inclusive language, and ensured a greater representation of cultural and neurodiversity. The new materials are more colourful and affirming, with improved examples and a broader range of children, along with other improvements. At this point, I'd like to hand over to Lisa Studman, who will take you through the program in more detail and share some of the outcomes and learnings from our recent work. Over to you, Lisa.
Great, so thanks Trevor. Look, the online version of Stepping Stones P is for parents of neurodiverse children or those with developmental disabilities or additional needs up to the age of about 12 years. Parents will find it useful if they're interested in promoting their child's learning and development and/or if they have concerns around challenging behaviour and self-regulation. So there's 9 modules in the program, each that takes about 30 to 60 minutes. Let's have a look.
Being a parent is the most important and rewarding job there is. We all want our children to be healthy and happy at home, at school, and in all the other places they'll spend their lives. But it's not always easy to know how to make that happen, especially when children have additional needs. To raise a child to be a well-adjusted adult, we need to care for them, protect, teach, and guide them. The aim is to raise children who will have the skills they need for a rich and rewarding adult life. This means a full and balanced life, involved with work, friends, self-care, continued learning and recreation. How we participate in these parts of life is different for us all. Some people need extra support and assistance. Raising a child with a disability or additional needs involves providing all the loving care they need, as well as sometimes adapting the way we do things, dealing with extra stress, and finding ways to look after ourselves as parents. For example, children with developmental disabilities may need extra help to learn to walk, talk, play with toys, or to feed and care for themselves. Some have specific conditions such as autism, intellectual or learning disabilities, Fragile X, or fetal alcohol spectrum disorder. Others will not have a specific condition, but will need help and opportunities to develop their abilities. We are all different, and each person with a disability is unique, with a range of characteristics, interests, abilities and needs. Stepping Stones P is a version of the Positive Parenting Program for children who have a developmental disability, neurodiversity or additional needs. We'll give you ideas on how to build a strong, loving relationship with your child and guide their development, behaviour and emotions as they grow. More than 25 years of research and feedback from over 100,000 families around the world has demonstrated that the ideas in Stepping Stones P really work. And they're effective for children who have developmental disabilities or need additional supports. As you follow the Stepping Stones P program, you'll see it's not only your child who benefits, you'll enjoy parenting more too. Because positive parenting can help your whole family have a happy, calm and healthy life.
So the first module introduces parents to the 7 principles of positive parenting when raising a child with additional needs. It covers all the usual parenting principles as well as the extra things that parents can consider. So this module demonstrates and describes each principle in detail, and it provides examples of all of the strategies included in the program. So if for some reason a parent only had the time or the inclination to complete the first module, then they would get a holistic overview of everything in Stepping Stones P. Module 2 gets parents to think about what influences their child's behaviour. They're asked to consider their child's individual characteristics, genetics, temperament, health, disability, neurodivergence, individual needs. They also consider some of the parenting traps that can influence child behaviour, like inadvertent reinforcement or accidental rewards, and bidirectional emotional and behavioural escalation or escalation traps, as well as things like modelling and how we give instructions, getting child engagement, interactional patterns in general. And of course, there's other influences that can stem from the media, peers, school experiences, community and culture. Parents then interact with the program to set positively framed goals for their child's development and for their own parenting interactions. If their concern is around challenging behaviour, they're prompted to consider goals that target functional adaptive behaviour that their child can learn to use to replace the challenging behaviour. Then we unpack 26 parenting strategies, beginning with ideas to develop a warm, loving, secure relationship. For kids with additional needs, this can mean considering modifications like incorporating alternative or augmentative communication devices, taking account of sensory sensitivities, and tuning into their preferred level of stimulation and spending quality time with them in their own zone. Strategies like setting up engaging activities and visual schedules are then introduced, and parents hear about praise, attention, and effective use of explicit rewards. There's always the trap of overusing rewards because they can really motivate kids. So the focus here is on how to pair the use of rewards with social praise and then reduce the extra rewards till they're faded out and only used intermittently. This way we prevent kids becoming reward dependent. There's a strong focus in Stepping Stones on helping parents to teach their kids new skills. In this module, they consider how to decide on what skills to teach. So what is their child interested in learning? What are they ready to learn? What skills are going to be the most useful or functional for them? And what do the parents want to teach their kids to learn? They set out a plan to teach specific skills, and they monitor progress in the program using a goal achievement mechanism. So strategies to teach adaptive behaviour are demonstrated, and the emphasis is always on finding the appropriate level of visual, verbal or physical prompting to establish the skill, and then using fading so kids can work toward their potential independence. In Stepping Stones, we've staggered strategies that parents can use to prevent, guide and respond to challenging behaviour. The emphasis is on understanding the function of any behaviour of concern, teaching alternative behaviour and using least restrictive responses when needed. A 6-step competing behaviours model is introduced in Module 9, where a parent can develop a positive behaviour support plan for persistent challenging behaviour. To close, parents watch clips and hear about how to keep up positive changes by fading out rewards and prompts as much as possible, reviewing progress regularly and troubleshooting problems early, and by maintaining family support. As they've worked through the program, parents have reflected on self and family care ideas and built personalised plans to increase their resources, support and self-efficacy. Stepping Stones Online provides a scalable and accessible solution for families of children with developmental disabilities. By overcoming logistical, financial and psychological barriers to participation, this digital intervention can widen access to evidence-based parenting support. It went live in Australia at the beginning of 2025 and already over 1,600 parents have activated their program. If we consider delivering Stepping Stones in the traditional group format, that would mean the work of practitioners providing 160 parenting groups, each with 10 parents, over 3 months, a 3-month period. That's extraordinary, isn't it? Look, it can impact service delivery gaps and support parents on wait lists. Clinicians familiar with Stepping Stones Online content can integrate the program into their individualised child and family interventions and use the program to complement parent learning. Its population-level reach has the potential to improve child behaviour, parenting confidence and family wellbeing on a large scale. Future research will further inform program implementation, effectiveness and engagement, ensuring it remains adaptable to diverse needs. Policymakers and practitioners are encouraged to integrate Stepping Stones SSTP Online into existing systems to promote equitable and cost-effective family support. So that's it, and thank you for your attention.